Well, we provisionally decided one Euro Trophy champion. Now it's the time to possibly crown another just now in the Senior Max second final of the Euro Trophy Open. And the grid is as follows: 34 drivers, 17 rows of Senior Max competitors. Ilian Brunsils leads the way, having won final number one. Matilda Olsson from Strawberry Racing joins him on the front row, ahead of the British pairing of Bradley Barrett and Charlie Turner. César Gasol and Guilherme de Oliveira ran out the top three rows, with Kai Hunter, Mario Novak, Teddy Clinton and Jordan Brown-Nutley rounding out the top 10. Conrad Christensen and Andreas Hebert round out row number 6, ahead of Jason Lockwood, Rasmus Friedel, Lori Lepai, Patrick Rundqvist, Robin Knutsson, Zombor Kovac, Elia Galvanin. Philip Vava, who I spoke to in the lunch break, said he was hoping for a bit more opportunity in the first final, but he starts from 20th. Ahead of Denmark's Mads Ries and Victor Paulsen, who complete the top 11 rows. And then rounding out the 34 strong, it is Nicolas Scholl, Laszlo Zuever, Lukas Horschmann, Max Karhunen, Mikkel Tiggelsen, Ehad Turka, Itsuki Sato starting in 29th. Dylan Nahey, who didn't finish the first final, starts from 30th position, ahead of Emily de Hoys from the Netherlands, followed by Luna Blum, Rick Boothorn and Reese Hunter, who is starting from 34th position. And if you were to say to me, well, what are you going to say it's going to be for the Senior Max second final? Well, if I said fireworks in the Junior Max, it could be a complete mushroom cloud kind of explosion here in seniors, because it has been explosive from the word go. We saw that in the qualifying heats yesterday. We saw that in the first final this morning. Now it is time for final number 2 for the seniors. It's 14 minutes on the timer, set in stone, plus an additional lap. The red lights are on the starting gantry, ready to go out at a moment's notice. The drivers now make their way around turn 12. Brunsils on pole, Olsson alongside. Do we go lights out for final number 2? Yes, we do indeed. And Bradley Barrett and Charlie Turner are trying to go with Ilian Brunsils. Olsson down into 4th initially, but manages to take a tight defensive line ahead of Guilherme de Oliveira, heading into turns 3, 4 and 5. And at the minute, it looks like Bradley Barrett is going to be challenging Ilian Brunsils for the lead of the race, heading into turn 7. The Brit makes the move and makes it stick, but Brunsils already back on the offensive, trying to dart left and right through turn 7 into turn 8. As they now go through turn number 9 for the first time of asking. Some good side-by-side action going into turn number 10. That's a great overtaking opportunity there. So at the minute, it is the 307 of Bradley Barrett leading the way ahead of Ilian Brunsils. Matilda Olsson back up into 3rd position. Looks like Guilherme de Oliveira might have jumped up into 4th place already. And that is the case. Has got ahead of Charlie Turner and Jordan Brown-Nutley. We've got César Gasol up into 7th ahead of Novak. Christensen, Kai Hunter up into 10th. Lepai, Clinton, Lockwood, Friedel and Scholl round out the top 15. As well, this is getting really heated now, because de Oliveira is still fending, well, trying to know whether to attack or defend, whether he attacks Matilda Olsson or fends off Charlie Turner. It's a very difficult decision, especially with how concertinaed around the top 10 to 12 drivers are. And there's a great move up the inside. I think that might have been that Charlie Turner's just been overtaken. Well, Turner's trying to do a move of his own, but Olsson now, well, here we go. It's changed yet again. Brunsils hits the front. Olsson now in 2nd. Can I ask that driver number 210, Junior Max, heads to the stewards immediately, please? That's driver 210 to the stewards. Junior Max to the stewards immediately, please. So Barrett was in the lead. He's now down into 3rd place behind Matilda Olsson in 2nd. Ilian Brunsils in 1st position. So we have 11 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock, plus an additional lap. The top 5 have started to break away quite cleanly now. And the guys behind are being led by the likes of Charlie Turner and César Gasol from France. So that's 6th and 7th position respectively. But I don't think Brunsils is going to have an easy time at all, because the fastest lap of the race at the moment is not being set by anyone in around about the sort of top 5 to 10 positions at the moment. Andreas Herbert is the fastest driver on the circuit at the moment and is currently sitting in 34th position. So at the moment the top 4 are separated by just over a second. You make that 1.2 when you get down to Guilherme de Oliveira, who has been passed by Britain's Jordan Brown-Nutley. The gap between Ilian Brunsils and Matilda Olsson last time around was just over 0.3 of a second. And when I spoke to Matilda during the lunch break, she said, well, hopefully I'll see you on the podium, Alex. Well, she's making good her intentions here, but it's whether the case of what happens to Ilian Brunsils, because he's got 25 points as a result of winning the first final. So if he gets a double victory, no one will be able to challenge, but there was a good move there, I think, between 2 DHR carts, and one of them might have been Teddy Clinton. So at the moment it still remains, well, Bradley Barrett's just been passed by Jordan Brown-Nutley. Well, was passed, but now isn't passed, as Guilherme de Oliveira forces his way and rubs wheels and sends Jordan Brown-Nutley nearly off by all 4 wheels, well, actually 2 in fact, on the runoff area just off the curbing on the exit of turn number 4. So a bit too much tyre rubbing there, I think, between the Portuguese and the British drivers. So that has meant that I think that might have been just a bit more than robust from Guilherme de Oliveira. He was trying to get his way past Brown-Nutley, who had been jumped by Barrett, going in through to turn 3. So at the moment, the 2 leaders now breaking away. And that is Ilian Brunsils leading. Matilda Olsson from Sweden in second. Bradley Barrett from the United Kingdom still in third. Guilherme de Oliveira from Portugal in fourth, being closely chased down by Jordan Brown-Nutley from the United Kingdom. They're about 0.3 of a second exactly apart. Well, not even that, as Brown-Nutley gets better on the anchors through into turn number 2 to try and keep up with the Portuguese driver from KR Sport. Mario Novak rounds out the top 6 with 2 Brits thrown in there. So we've got a Belgian, a Swedish driver, 2 Brits, a Portuguese driver, and then we've got Novak making that 4 different nationalities in the top 6. Make that 5 with Cesar Gazo in 7th position. So at the moment, just keeping an eye on what the times are between the 2 leaders. At the moment, it is Matilda Olsson that is fastest of anybody around the 1,360 metre track here at Karting Genk. She was she was 0.03 of a second quicker than Brunsils. The gap was nearly half a second. It's been truncated further by nearly a further 10th by Olsson, who does another fastest lap. She is literally on fire at the moment, is the youngster from Uppsala. That was a 55.268. Brunsils did a 55.351. Olsson is responding. 8 minutes and 9 seconds plus an additional lap to go. The lead is still within the grasp of Matilda Olsson and maybe even the victory. But there is still plenty of time to go. But they have broken away from the trio behind, which is still being led by Britain's Bradley Barrett in the 307 from Dan Holland Racing, followed by KR Sports' Guilherme de Oliveira and Strawberry Racing's Jordan Brown-Nutley, who is hot on the heels of the Portuguese ace, trying to get back that 4th position. And Mario Novak still in 6th, ahead of Cesar Gazo from France. Kai Hunter up into 8th. We've had 2 drivers who I think will not be taking any further participation. That's Konrad Christensen and Rasmus Friedel. So we're down to 32 combatants here in the second Senior Max final. And again, Matilda Olsson, well, she wasn't quicker that time. The gap is still around 0.4 of a second. Brunsils slightly faster that time, but the fastest driver out of anybody is from the UK, and it's Dan Holland Racing's Teddy Clinton, who's currently sitting in 11th position and is about 0.6 adrift of Charlie Turner on the 305, who currently rounds out the top 10. Top 15 completed by the following drivers from 12th to 15th. It's Philip Vava in 12th. Well, we've just had a pushing 5-second time penalty given out, and that's been given to the 373. And that is Emily de Hoys, unfortunately, from the Netherlands. This time around, Matilda Olsson again sets another fastest lap of the race. She's getting ever closer to dipping underneath the 55-second barrier. She was just over 3.5 tenths behind Ilian Brunsils, but the gap looks to have shortened quite significantly. So the 3:01 from Strawberry Racing definitely trying to chase down the Buvin-powered 3:08 of Ilian Brunsils. So Brunsils not out of the woods, as I said earlier on in this race, and Matilda Olsson is showing what we will expect to see here in the 2019 Euro Trophy season that starts in Italy at the end of next month. But I tell you what, this is an incredible drive from her at the minute. Bradley Barrett might be under close competition from Guilherme de Oliveira for third, as they are trying to drop Jordan Brown-Nutley. Not happening at the moment. So Brown-Nutley keeping in proximity. And the lap times have dropped again. Matilda Olsson's done an absolute flyer. 54.854, over a tenth quicker than Ilian Brunsils. She is definitely gunning for that victory right now. It's now about getting past and then consolidating a lead over the driver that has been at the front of the field all the way through up until this point. He was head of the field at the end of yesterday when I spoke with him, and he said, I had a really good qualification, really enjoyed the heats, took some victories, but now the second final, this is going to be a very crucial moment, because with the way that the race has panned out, it is between Olsson and Brunsils, but it may very well go to countback if Matilda Olsson gets a march on Ilian Brunsils to take the lead of this race. 4 minutes and 50 plus an additional lap. We have a mechanical black flag, and it's being issued for the 3:16. And that is Nicolas Scholl. So Nicolas will have to park that. And again, another fastest lap. We've gone into the sub 54.8s by 1/1000th, thanks to Matilda Olsson. She was over half a tenth of a second quicker than Ilian Brunsils. The gap just over 2 tenths. She's just calculating when to make the moves to help get that additional bit of lap time that swings the pendulum in her favour. And it's quite clearly showing at the moment as the pair are around 2 car lengths adrift of each other, going down towards turn number 10. So Brunsils is now going to have to fight for this victory. Olsson still in the hunt. Behind it's still Bradley Barrett, Guilherme de Oliveira. Then we've got Jordan Brown-Nutley. Behind them we've still got Novak, Gazot and Kai Hunter. Now that time around the gap has gone slightly in the favour of Ilian Brunsils to around 3.5 tenths of a second. He was over a tenth quicker than his Swedish rival, who's still right behind, still keeping in touching distance. So top 15 at the moment. Brunsils leads from Olsson by just over 3 tenths. Bradley Barrett in third. Guilherme de Oliveira leads Jordan Brown-Nutley, who rounds out the top 5. Novak, Gazot, Kai Hunter, Philip Faber up into 9th now, ahead of Charlie Turner and Teddy Clinton. Dylan Nahey up into 12th position, having started in 30th, so good work from the GKS Lemons power driver based out of Belgium. Zsombor Kovac, Elia Galvanin on Euro Trophy Open debut up into the top 14, ahead of Rick Boothorn from the Netherlands. Gap now is down to just over 3 tenths between first and second position, with 2 minutes and 51 on the clock, plus an additional lap to go. Brunsils still has one hand on that ticket to Sarno. But it's dependent on what Matilda Olsson is going to do, whether she's going to... I know for a fact that she definitely wants to go to Sarno. I think most drivers compete, well, any driver that's entered this event this weekend will have a goal of going to Sarno. Mike Van Vries says, I got third last year, I want the top step in 2019, and he's going the right way about it. But Brunsils and Olsson still interlocked. It's still a two-way scrap at the front with 2 minutes and 15 on the clock left in this second Senior Max final. Third place still in the hands of Bradley Barrett for the moment. Guilherme de Oliveira, I'm looking at the times between the pair. Brad Barrett is faster by about a tenth of a second a lap. And it's still around about the same sort of distance, but the fastest lap of the race doesn't go to Matilda Olsson. It now goes to Ilian Brunsils, but Bradley Barrett now coming under pressure from Guilherme de Oliveira for third place. As the leaders now stream their way down to turn number 7. We've now got just over 90 seconds plus an additional lap to go in this second Senior Max final, and it is looking very, very good indeed for Ilian Bruinseels from Belgium in the 3:08. So leaders now coming out of turn 11, heading down the short blast towards the very tight, and then which then expands open turn number 12 to bury the throttle hard, get the head down, which Matilda Olsson does right now, and closes up quite quickly to the back bumper of Ilian Bruinseels heading into turn 2. If she was a little bit closer, I think she would have had a run towards the lead, as there's a bit of pushing, I think, or slices a bit of pushing now between the likes of Guilherme de Oliveira and Brad Barrett, but Jordan Brown-Nutley's right on the back bumper of the Portuguese driver, trying to go up the inside of turn number 6, can't do it quite yet. 43 seconds on the clock remaining as the leaders go through turn number 8. So it's going to be this, and I think probably by my reckoning around 2 more laps to go. But Bruinseels has commanded it from lights out to checkered flag at the moment. But we still have time remaining. 25 seconds on the clock to go. They come through turn number 11. On the run down to turn 12 yet again, do the 2 leaders. They've got a huge gap, around 4.3 seconds over Brad Barrett between second and third position. But the lead, well, the fastest lap of the race has gone to Matilda Olsson. Not on this lap, but the previous one. But I tell you what, she's getting closer and closer. Time has now expired. It's going to be this plus an additional lap to go. So, Nicolas Scholl had to park it due to a mechanical black flag. Rasmus Friedel and Konrad Christiansen not taking any further participation. It looks to be that Luna Blum and Ehad Turka might also not be taking any further participation. Well, they have just crossed the start-finish line, so it looks like we've still got 31 runners in this race. But Brad Barrett looks to be holding on pretty nicely for what is effectively third position in this final. As Novak has got back past Gazor, so final lap it is. The gap between the 2 at the front, just under 0.3 of a second. But I have to say it's been pretty clean between the 2 at the front. A little bit scrappy, I think, between Jordan Brown-Nutley and Guilherme de Oliveira a few minutes ago when the pair clashed tyres. A bit of smoke poured out and Brown-Nutley went a bit wide through the contact. But the lead is now coming through. Turn 8 for the final time of asking here at Karting Genk. And they go down the short blast into the right-hand sweeper at turn number 10 for the final time. Then they'll explode out of the left at turn number 11. But the checkered flag is being prepared, and for 2 victories on the trot, Ilian Bruinseels from Belgium on home soil takes a ticket to Sarno in October. Well done, young man. He celebrated his 16th birthday, and now he can say, I'm off to the 20th anniversary of the Grand Finals in southern Italy in October. Well done to Matilda Olsson, who also, well, did have the fastest lap up until the last tour, but Dylan LaHaye stole that from under her. But I'll tell you what, she's definitely one of the people that I think is going to be a force to be reckoned with in 2019 in the Euro Trophy. She's doing the full campaign, but what a great job from the 18-year-old from Uppsala in Sweden, finishing just 0.219 seconds behind our winner for our inaugural Senior Max Euro Trophy Open champion, Belgium's Ilian Bruinseels. Bradley Barrett comes home in third position. Great drive from the Brit. Guilherme de Oliveira and Jordan Brown-Nutley ran out the top 5 ahead of Cesar Gazor and Kai Hunter, who both got past Mario Novak. Teddy Clinton was 9th ahead of Dylan LaHaye, who had an absolute stormer, starting 30th and finished in the top 10. Philip Vava took 11th position ahead of Charlie Turner. Zombo Kovac, Reese Hunter and Elia Galvanin completed the top 15. Great work for the Italian on a Euro Trophy debut, so let's hope that Elia will be joining us in the Euro Trophy this season. Patrick Rundqvist takes 16th ahead of Robin Knutsson. Lucas Horsman, Rick Boothorn, Mads Rees rounds out the top 20 ahead of Itsuki Sato, Mikael Tiggelsen, Andres Hebert, Lori Lepai, Laszlo Zueva, Jason Lockwood, Max Karhunen, Victor Paulsen, Luna Blum, Emily De Hoys, and a few others as well. But there we go. Ilian Brunstils heads to Sarno for the grand finals in October in Italy.